video is just really where the industry's going. We're going to talk about some stats to kind of like back that up a little bit. But who here has a smartphone? What? Right? And if you're like me, so let me just tell you a quick story about myself, right? So it was many years ago, and I was on Facebook, and I saw this video tour of a house. I was like, wow, that's so different to be able to show a house in that type of dynamics. You know, I was on Facebook, I saw it, and it was a George Care video. I was like, wow, that was so cool. And I'm like, I talked to George, and he's like, whoa, I have thousands of dollars of equipment to do this. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I said, well, there's a will, there's a way. I literally just got whatever iPhone I had and literally just got a stick. I found out that stabilizing it, I couldn't afford a stabilizer, and some of the tips I'm gonna afford to you, but literally all I ended up doing was going around the house with my phone and then just showcasing it. One of the first ones that I did it, I didn't even care how it came out. It was for an $800,000 listing in, I think it was Sunny Isles. You know, it wasn't about, oh, was it professional? It was just about being able to showcase the house in a different angle. My goal for you today is very, very simple. Are you doing video? Yes or no? If you're not, are you doing it for your properties? You know, because the idea here is this. If you're like me, I got intimidated by all the professional lingo. Oh, but you have to have this and this and that. And I'm going to debunk some of these things. And as one of the last slides, I have a $5,000 camera setup. And I shot the same scenes with a $5,000 setup with my iPhone 8. And you're going to tell me how much of a difference you can tell. The idea here is this. The consumers and everyone is just consuming more through video. So why are we holding back? So with that being said, by the way, as I talk, I love interruptions. Any questions that you have as I go through along the way, as long as time permits it, I would love to answer your questions, okay? That being said, I'm gonna show you kind of like success stories. I'm like, okay, Albert, video, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's your topic. Well, let's find out. So this is one of my videos, right? I'm gonna point out a few things, right? This particular video reached over 21,000 people online. All right, so it's just, that's pretty decent, all right? It got over 11,000 views. People reached and people viewed are two different things. So Facebook counts a view as anybody that viewed it for 3 seconds or 5 seconds or more, right? So there's some people that just shot on their feed and they didn't look at it that long, okay? In addition, it got 23 shares on Facebook, okay? Which I think is pretty good activity to have on a listing, okay? Next, I was able to sell it for $10,000 above list price. Why do I share these stats with you? All those stats were achieved within the first 5 days of the listing being active. So it was not like, oh, I achieved all this. You promote it and it gets the views. It's not like, oh my God, I'm a celebrity and everything I post goes viral. No. You pay for this stuff, right? So the same things that I did on this video is the same things that you can do. Now, I will tell you this, just to debunk the mystery. Will that sell the house? No, it's ultimately about pricing, okay? But this just gives you additional web appeal. This just gives you additional ways to showcase the house and have interaction with people that would have not seen it otherwise. I think it's, I think it's helpful. So if you want to get this type of activity, my goal here today is very simple. How do you get this? On your phone. On your phone. Okay? So here, I'm gonna show you a few stats, okay? So pay attention to this because if you're not getting some of this data, you're gonna be missing out. Okay, Facebook has how many monthly active users? 2.2 billion, that's B, right? How many photos are updated daily? 300 million, okay? But how many views are received daily? 8 billion, all right? And Facebook, believe it or not, because people thought that it was YouTube, YouTube was the primary platform for video. But video is consumed a lot more now on Facebook than it is on YouTube. That's kind of crazy. Kind of, if you start to think about it, right? So then look at YouTube. YouTube has about 5 billion views daily. Average is 40 minutes. And then you have Instagram. So long story short, if you're gonna have the video, where would you want to post it? Right? Any of those three, and if you can do all three, that's even better. You know, they always say, don't be the secret agent, right? So when you're the secret agent, yeah, you know all the great stuff. You're a great realtor. That's awesome. Great. And you tell nobody. It's the same thing. If you have a video, we'll put it out and let it be seen. Put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, and put it on YouTube. Okay, so these are important stats. Any questions on the stats on why you should have on these platforms? Pretty straightforward, right? Okay, so as a little bonus tip, right, when you do have it, all these platforms support ads. So you can boost a post on Facebook if you have a business page. You can do Google AdWords on YouTube, and you can also boost a post on Instagram. So it doesn't matter if, I don't have that many people on my Facebook or on my Instagram. Well, you boost. $50 gets you a long way. I'm not telling you to spend $1,000. A lot of my posts, I just boosted $50, $100, and see where it gets. So here, okay, you get it. You need it. What do you need?
Smartphone.
You need a smartphone. Now notice how I classified here with 2016 and above. Now, if you have an older one, can you still do it? Technically, yes. I'm gonna tell you this, a little background about myself, right? When my daughter was born 3 years ago, right, I bought a camera. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures. She's a cutie pie, right? So I just love taking pictures of her. It's a blast. I was like, hey, I wonder if this little, TV camera can maybe do some of my real estate stuff. And that's how I got into real estate. I'm super obsessed with things, and if I love it, I just get obsessed with it. Long story short, I ended up hiring a photography and a video coach, studied videography and photography, and I'm just obsessed with it. I'm like $15,000 into photography and videography equipment, and I almost opened up a side company. So the reason that I share that with you is because I want you to get the perspective that I've studied the video and photo aspect of things, and I want to share it that with an iPhone, you can get very, very close. By no means am I saying this substitutes professional video or professional videography. What I am saying is, if you're not going to do one, if you're not going to pay for a professional on one of your listings, you need this collateral. Okay, so what you need, a smartphone, 2016 and above. You know what I love about smartphones? They come out with a new one every single year. Every single year, it's better in video and better in photos. It's ridiculous, the amount of innovation that is done in this industry just on photo and videos. So that's one thing that you're gonna need. You're gonna need a stabilizer for your phone. I'm gonna get to what a stabilizer is. You're gonna need a video editing programmer. You're gonna need some background music, a PNG and logo of your file, of your logo or in your picture. What's a PNG file? So a PNG file is just your logo with transparent background, so it doesn't look like this white block, and a picture of yourself. So I'm gonna show you what a stabilizer does, okay? The biggest problem with video is when you walk it, especially with your phone, your hands are tending to be very shaky. And let me share you something. What do you think the movie industry spends a lot of money on? They spend money on stabilizers. Yeah, they're using state-of-the-art video cameras. But if you look at the stabilizer that those videos cameras are on, it's ridiculous. So why do they do this? Because they understand that the consumer, whenever they want to view the media, they want to make sure it's stable, because if not, you're going to barf. You're going to be, what's up with this? Is this like a horror film? Or, it's just not going to look great. So it's got to be stabilized so that it looks more pleasing. So I have here my regular setup, right? So this is on my professional camera and on a gimbal. So I'm going to show you what a gimbal does. So when you put it in, look, it'll automatically stabilize it. Wait, is this on right now? No, it didn't turn on. Here, give me a sec. All right, so automatically stabilizes it. So I can be so clumsy at walking, This is how I walk. I don't know why, but I'm just very bouncy. For whatever the reason, this will always stay stabilized. I can go like this, and it'll always have a stable image. And your video is never bouncy. It's never like, ugh, And if you could the easiest movements make makes such a big effect in video. You can just go like this, and the stabilizer does all the work for me. I'm just zooming in, zooming out, and then I just go into the editing program. I put it in there, and the hardest work, which is getting the video stable, has already been done by this. Now, this is over a $5,000 setup. What I'm going to show you here is, can you get a stabilizer for your phone and can you get all these other stuff for consumer levels, right? Because my goal is not to come over here and tell you how to spend $5,000. My goal is here how to get videos done with the equipment that you already have. Is everybody on board?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So, I'm just as a heads up, okay, if you're taking notes and you're worried, at the end, I'm gonna have a slide. It's gonna have a text code, okay? The text code is gonna be D4, and it automatically, if you text it, it's automatically gonna send you within a minute to your phone all the links to buy stabilizers that you would like, the two that I'm recommending, okay? Video editing program, background music, and everything else that I talked about. So that way you don't have to do the research. You can just click one button, and all of a sudden, all that information is on your phone. Does that sound fair to you guys?
Wow.
Sweet. So let's just follow along here. All right, so at the end of the day, on a iPhone, this is what it'll look like. That'll be the gimbal, and then you just put your phone on there. So phone settings, and I do have to talk this because I think we have to put it a little bit basic, and I have seen it done, and I can't do this class and not say this one point. It's just very simple. Please, for the love of God, do not record like this. Unless you're doing an Instagram story, unless you're doing something, this is not the way to do it, please. Okay? If you do it like this and you don't know, when you put it on your computer, you're gonna have, a lot of negative space on the sides. And don't do this either. Don't hit record as you're like this and then do this. That's even worse. It's even worse. Don't do that. So what you gotta do is you put it in landscape first, and then you hit record, okay? And that's, we're in the step in the right direction. Now, here's some settings that I think some people don't know how to get into, but if you go to your iPhone, and I think I don't know how it is for Androids, I'm just all iPhones. All you gotta do is go to your settings, okay, if you have your iPhone, then go to your camera, okay, settings and then camera, and you can there select what type of video quality you want. If you have an iPhone 8, I think even the 7, you can actually do 4K in these particular type of settings. I recommend 60 frames per second, which is really the change that I would like you to make, because I think by default it's on 30. Okay? And the 60 frames per second just allows you to get smoother footage when you're panning and stuff like that. 60 frames per second. If you have a 4K option, your image is going to look a little bit better. Okay? Guess what? You want to hear something crazy? iPhone 8. I can record 4K 60 frames per second. $5,000 camera, I can't record 4K 60 frames per second. As a matter of fact, there's some cameras out there that are $7,000 and $8,000 that don't record 4K at 60 frames per second. That's just kind of crazy. Okay? So, and have it in video mode. Don't walk around in photo mode. So there's a negative on the 4K. It just takes a little longer to edit because it's a bigger file. So if you can see the quality, I can tell you this, a lot of consumers are viewing it in regular 1080p. But I'm just saying. Okay, let's move on. Stabilizers, there's either an Osmo 2 or a Zhiyun Smooth 4. That sounds like Chinese to you. All you gotta know is that when you text the link, I have both of the links available. They're both $130 for a mobile phone, okay? $130. And then you need to just put your phone on the stabilizer and just turn it on and it automatically balances it. And like anything else, you just gotta practice, and practice makes perfect. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna send you the links to all these equipment so that, video editors, I'm gonna send you the link to all those as well for iOS. So I organize the text in a very user-friendly format. I'm gonna say iOS, here's the link to an editing app. If you have Android, here's a link to a movie editing app. If you want to do it, I edit all my videos on the desktop. I think that the quality, in my opinion, has more options and you can get better video edited that way. But the point is that you don't have to go out and spend a lot of more money to get the video done. You can actually get it just by doing it on your same iOS device or on your Android. Okay, so on Mac I use Final Cut, and on PC if you want to do the desktop version, there's Adobe Premiere. So here's the extra touch. Now, many of you are like looking at it and it's like, what the heck is going on? Why does this phone have this big old bump? Okay, I'm going to show you what this bump does. So I'm going to disconnect for a little bit. Everybody can hear me, more or less? Yeah. So one of the biggest advantages of using a professional camera, okay, is that you can get wider point of views. If you go with your phone regularly without one of these, okay, you're going to have what's called a 35 millimeter point of view. Forget what it means. It's just a standard point of view. It's not that wide. If you talk to anybody that does real estate photography or video, they're going to tell you the wider the angle without getting a fisheye, the better. You know, 16, 18 millimeters is standard. This little device that's $100, which I also include the link for when you text the link, right? It's $100. All you got to do is just connect it to your phone. It comes with a case, okay? And it gives me an 18 millimeter full frame camera point of view. This allows you, when you're panning a room, to capture a lot more. As a matter of fact, here, let me see if I can just go through the rest of the stuff. I'm going to send you the link for the music, for the premium beats. And always use your logos and your headshots in PNG. What I'm going to do is, after I show you some of the videos, I'm going to connect my phone if the time allows, and I'm going to show you how this room looks like with this on and without this on, and you're going to see the difference, right? When you're in real estate, you want to always capture as much of the room as possible because that prevents a long pan. You know, like if I have to go like this is a long pan, versus I just showed you the whole room like this, you know? Just different. Any questions on that so far? All right. So, have fun. This is not for someone. This is not for someone that, oh my gosh, this is so annoying, blah, 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 blah. This is not. This is, look, you know what? Let me try this out. I want to have some fun with this. This is too tedious for you. Then maybe it's not worth it because you're going to have to invest time. You're going to have to invest some equipment. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I notice that whenever I have to hire a videographer in the past before, I have to be there anyways. So I enjoy it. I encourage you that if you're going to go through this, just have the right mindset. Hey, you know what? I want to learn. I want to have some fun and see how it goes. Okay? So I'm going to show you here. This is the test. Take a look at these the following footage. One was shot on an iPhone. The same exact scene was then shot with my professional camera. Now, I will give you a heads up because I wanted to make the comparison similar. I don't have right now because my mobile stabilizer for my iPhone broke. So none of those footage are stabilized. So God knows that this is not how I do it. It's going to be very shaky and it's done on purpose because I wanted to show apples to apples, right? But take a look at this. That's an iPhone 8. I sped it up. That's the Pro camera. I mean, do you see any difference? The iPhone 8, look how beautiful that looks. Look at the colors, right? Now here's the interesting thing, the Pro camera, you actually have to do, here. So this is the room, iPhone 8. It's my office. This is the Pro camera. I want you to see it firsthand because I think that I put myself in your shoes. I'm a pessimist. I'm gonna be like, well, really? I don't know. I want to test it out. The reality is, a professional camera, to get that extra footage to look awesome, it requires a lot of editing, and that's the truth. A professional camera is gonna look better than an iPhone. You just need to be a colorist. You just need to know how to work that, all the programs in the back to make it look awesome. The great thing about an iPhone, awesome, right off the back. You don't have to do none of the other work. I'm going to show you just kind of like maybe redeem myself from those horrible footage, but this is kind of like one of our traditional videos look like, you know. If you go to our Facebook page, you can see a bunch of them. So you can see I go in and I usually just have a call to action, like text, video, whatever it is, and they automatically get all the information on the listing. I'm not going to show you the whole video because that's going to be quite boring. I want to get you guys to the next class, but I just go and I like using fast forward, so I just move to the next. Why do I use fast forward? It's very simple. I think that especially in a 2,500 square foot house like this one was, I don't want to spend 5 minutes showing you the house. The results show me that people on average are gonna view a video, for the most part, 30 seconds. You know? So those 30 seconds need to be engaging. You know, that's why I like having those fast forward, I like to have those effects on there first, because I'm trying to catch the consumer's attention every little second that I can. So this is, you know, more or less what I do. And I just like to close it off with a saying that is, done is better than perfect. Boy, that has hindered my career many, many, many times. It has to be perfect. And oh no, if it's not, then I'm not gonna do anything. And that applies to so many things in our careers. And it can also apply for video. Guys, everybody knows what you look like, everybody knows what you sound like, everybody knows if you're a professional or not as far as a video level. Don't back down, start your first video. If you go to my YouTube channel, you see my first video, yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's how I started. But you know what? It's getting it done. It's about habits. It's about saying, hey, you know what? I'm determined to do it. And yeah, it's not awesome right now, but it's gonna get better. So, as I promised to make everyone's life easier, text the code D4 to that number, and you're all gonna get, I don't know if you guys are gonna overwhelm my system here, but you all should be getting the links to the stabilizers, to the wide angle lens, to where you can buy your music, where I buy my music, which is one of the best stores, right? And also, you already have one of my numbers. So if you have any questions, we can chit chat thereafter. Guys, thank you so much for your time. My name is Vasquez, and hope you enjoyed it.